Hello everyone, I am Noam and this will be an Israeli StarCraft 2 match in English. Here in the top right corner we have Regba as the red Protoss, and in the bottom left corner we have mouz.ThorZaIN as the blue Terran. Now I'm pretty sure most of you don't know Regba. Regba is an Israeli player, master level player as far as I know, not affiliated with any team, but maybe this will change in the future. mouz.ThorZaIN shouldn't need any introduction, but just for the hell of it, a Swedish player, just came back from Korea a day before this game was played. This game was played on Saturday morning, just a few days ago, and ThorZaIN had some fun in Korea, I think. Spent some time practicing with the Slayers clan, did his best in the GSL, unfortunately lost in the first round, but then went on to show some good skills in GSTL, eventually decided to come back home to Europe, and who knows, maybe in the future he'll go back to Korea, but after spending a month there, let's see what his skills are back on the European server. Yes, this was played on the European ladder. Xel'Naga Caverns is the map, as you can see, and both of these players are going to show us their skills. Regba is not a bad player in Israel. We have several good players, professional players. Regba is not one of them. ThorZaIN is of course a very professional player, but we'll see. We'll have to wait and see what Regba can do against this sort of professional. As we can see, ThorZaIN is not taking any gases, any refineries so far. Maybe doing a fast expansion, no gas fast expansion, maybe even one racks. We'll have to wait and see. Regba tried to see, came in here, was chased away by the probe. Gonna try to see if there is anything, but as he sees there are no refineries being built, so he's gonna get out of here before the Marines are gonna kill his probe. Good thinking indeed. And ThorZaIN, very high mineral count. Is he going to place second Marine first? Is he going to place command center anywhere? Nope. He's going for double refinery, as we can see. Very interesting. He's going to tech something very interesting. We'll have to wait and see. As you can see, we have two Marines already out, making a second barracks as well. On the other side of the map we have Regba doing all the good things that Protoss like to do. A bit of an early third pylon even, way before the cybernetics core is done, and early simulator approximately as well. Maybe he's teching as well. We have to wait and see. He's going for a second gateway though, nothing too crazy, like one gate expansion, and the SUV here is seeing everything, absolutely everything, and until the sentry pops out, he'll keep on scouting and see exactly what there is to see. Now as you can see, the probe was here, perhaps thinking of hiding something. Won't be possible to do any of that, and won't be possible to enter back into this main. Look how many Marines are here ready to guard the entrance, and they're gonna pop out, and will they kill it? Yes, they will kill this probe of Regba. Now as you can see, the factory is on its way. We're gonna have a starport soon, I'm only imagining, because we have so much gas being mined, as well as a bunker being placed in the front of the ramp. Regba not thinking of expanding just yet, wants to sneak a probe out just in case, has a sentry out, has most likely chased out the SCV. Yes, here it is, didn't kill it, and sending out probes all the way, wants to see what's going on. And robotics facility, 2-gate robo, very interesting. Of course we can see the starport being built and the tech lab on the factory as well, so we'll have to wait and see if this is the infamous 111 build that is so popular right now in Korea. And what's popular in Korea eventually becomes popular in the rest of the world. Now we're going to see Regba building a proxy pylon here on the side. Now this is no proxy pylon to warp in units from, this is a proxy pylon to hide some tech, as he already has the robotics facility. Will this be a hidden robotics bay, or maybe a proxy target? Much more likely no, it's a Twilight Council. Very interesting choice from Regba here. As we can see, a Twilight Council will most likely be thinking of Dark Templars. I'm only assuming, if he's hiding it so well, making sure his opponent can't see anything. Still with the probes all over, wants to see if his opponent is expanding, as we now can see regba still has no idea what's going on in this Terran base, doesn't even know there's a bunker here. All he knows there were 4 Marines, so there should be an expansion by now, right, if there's no gas. Well, nope, something devious is going on inside this Terran base, and the something devious is most likely this 1-1-1 build with the Raven. Of course, those pesky stalkers are not going to be having any luck today. Not that there are any stalkers being built, but the Raven is gonna pop out. The Observer sees it, and what's gonna happen? The Observer sees the Raven sees the Observer. regba is the one that notices it first. We did see here in the production tab that there was a Dark Shrine being built for a few moments, and then regba canceled it when he saw the Raven. Smart thinking, immediately placing a robotics bay for the Colossus and a Warp Prism with 4 Zealots inside. Observer making its way home, and I think regba realizes what's going on. Here it is, it's coming out. The probe that was outside the ramp sees it as well, and here it is, the 1-1-1 all in. Some SCVs, Marines, tank, siege mode, not done yet, 40 seconds. This may be the 40 seconds that may help regba stay alive. He needs a Colossus, he needs units, that's what he needs. He barely has anything. The supplies are so much in favor of ThorZaIN. As we can see, this dark Twilight Council is not being used for anything. ThorZaIN is here. It's gonna wait maybe 10 more seconds. The SCV is coming. We have a first force field here on the rep. This Observer sees everything, and it goes down so quickly. Tanks can now siege up on the low ground here, but what do we have here? The Warp Prism is here, 4 Zealots, 2 more being warped in, and the SCVs are gonna be chopped down by all these Zealots. Tank realizes what's going on, says, I'm not going in here, I need to save these SCVs. The Zealots doing their way, trying to kill an orbital command, and he's forced to lift it. In the meantime, ThorZaIN can't do anything here in the front, still using force fields regba, making sure he can't go up his ramp. The Zealots are doing a great job here, doing their best, destroying supply depots. As we can see, now we have a Viking landed, as well as some Marines and a tank, managing to surround the Zealots. These Zealots are gonna do their best as well. You can barely see it, but they're fighting SCVs, they're fighting Marines, and they're eventually being killed. But as we can see, ThorZaIN returning with many of his SCVs and Marines back home, leaves here a bunch of units, a couple of Marines, a large force of Marines, in fact 2 tanks, as well as a Hellion, and regba bought himself all the time he needed. What we still have the Warp Prism here. It has 4 Zealots inside. The Viking catches it off guard. 1 Zealot, 2 Zealots pop out, but the Warp Prism dies with 2 Zealots inside. 3 Stalkers here gonna do their best to annihilate this Viking, which ThorZaIN isn't being too careful about, just now noticing it, and he loses it eventually. Raven, still not sure what to do. This is the original one, right? Yeah, pretty sure it is. And ThorZaIN has to think what he has to do right now. I'm pretty sure he saw the Colossi, that's why he's making Vikings. Makes perfect sense. He's making another Raven right now, tad bit supply blocks, I think, and this contain is working pretty well. Not the quick win perhaps he expected he will get, but regba is locked down inside his base right now. ThorZaIN is a bit ahead on supply, but there is a large force here in the middle of the map that could go up this ramp, and the tank is not in siege mode. ThorZaIN realizes it now, runs back. regba's force is not that scary, but still ThorZaIN doesn't want to chance anything. Brings a few SCVs and then rushes them back to mine minerals. Not that many SCVs from ThorZaIN, as we can see. This little SCV is making sure there's no expansion here. Now he sees the Twilight Council, but it's very important to know if your opponent has expanded. ThorZaIN needs to know what's going on, trying to expand on his own. We have the Colossi coming out, destroying the bunker, and the Banshee is doing its best, didn't manage to kill anything off, but the shields on 2 of these Colossi is down. The HP is also way down. We have more Stalkers warping in here. regba is in fact containing his opponent on one end and being contained on the other end, but he is not expanding right now, and it's a big problem. He does have 3 Colossi, and look at this Warp Prism. It has 4 Zealots inside. This is so Brood War. He's dropping the Zealots on the tanks, and the tanks are being demolished. Colossi dropping right now. Point Defense Front doing an excellent job, and only now this Banshee is killed, but the contain of ThorZaIN is still here. He did lose a couple of tanks. He did lose the Banshee and a few Marines, and he's not going to lose this CV though, and this siege tank preparing it perfectly, and still regba with the war prism usage, now loading up the stalkers and gonna elevator them down here. Doesn't care that there is a container outside of the ramp. He wants to go and kill his opponent. I can only assume he has a lot of units here, still trying to contain his opponent. He's warping at units here, as we can see, and ThorZaIN is going to do his best to expand. This army of regba is not that frightening, but what do we have here? We have the Colossus, we have a couple of more stalkers, and we have a good proxy pylon. Supplies are now in favor of regba. He's gonna attack this. Tanks are not in siege mode. Slow reaction by ThorZaIN, and all the zealots ripping through the Marines. The Colossus may have died, but the tanks are dead, and now ThorZaIN is left off with this very, very small force that was being used to contain his opponent, and he's going to lose it. Marines dying slowly. The tank is gonna be next, and ThorZaIN is in a hell of a lot of trouble. We have the warpism here again. Is it doing anything? Not just yet. He's lifting off the orbital command, gonna fly it back home. He knows he's in a lot of trouble, and these two point defense ones can't really help that much. And Marine here not going to help that much as well. SCV here making sure maybe he can expand someday, and the warp prism still being used for the stalker elevator play, dropping in 3 stalkers in the base. These tanks are in siege mode. This bunker is not going to help, and this orbital command is going to land because it really can't do anything with it when it's in the air. Elevator play being used for 5, 6, 7 stalkers up in the high ground, tanks in siege mode, and regba coming up the ramp, warping inside ThorZaIN's base right now. Colossus perhaps going to drop, but regba doing so much damage right now. As you can see, ThorZaIN's supply is so low, not even using these 4 zealots on the side, destroying empty bunkers right now. ThorZaIN dropping mules in a last attempt to perhaps stay alive in this game. Units actually popping out of these barracks with stim as well, doing a good job. This is a very good choke for ThorZaIN. SCV is coming as well, but these 3 additional stalkers and the zealot perhaps will be enough to seal the deal. ThorZaIN is going to lose this game. regba, GG, well played. ThorZaIN says regba takes the game, defeats the professional Swedish player from mouz.ThorZaIN, and manages to take valuable ladder points from him. And this is a very, very impressive victory for an Israeli Protoss player. I have to say that I checked out ThorZaIN's match history. He came back on Friday from Korea, played on European server, a bit of odd hours, but he did play something like 30 games. He lost maybe 4 or 5 out of those 30 games. One of them was indeed to regba, as we can see, so it's a very, very impressive victory here for the Israeli player. Thank you very much for watching, and come back again in the future for more Israeli StarCraft 2.